Hello and a very good afternoon. You're watching News 9 Digital. Thank you for joining me live. I'm Pratibha. We have been tracking the developments on the India-China border. Of course, the Galwan clashes were the beginning of the deteriorating of the relationship between India and China. And now it looks like this bitterness is going to continue for a while, and an indication of the same is also a warning that India has given to China and a message that India has given to the troops as well, that any attempt to overrun troops should be met with fire. So this is the aggressive language that India has used, and in Galwan Valley clashes, as we do know, some primitive tools were also used. And it was quite a savage fight that took place on the ground with the soldiers. But now India has made it clear to China as well that this is not going to happen. And if there is any aggression from the Chinese side, then it will be met with fire. Of course, we've seen the use of fire that has taken place along the Pangzong Lake as well. But those have been only warning shots. There has not been any report of any injuries that have taken place to the soldiers as such. So this is the kind of strong language that India has used. Is this an indication that, the bitterness between India and China is going to continue? It's going to take a while before the relations get better between India and China. To discuss more on that, Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, a defense expert, joins us over the phone line. Many thanks for joining us. Wing Commander, would you say the strong language that India has used, a warning to China and a strong message to the troops on ground as well, is an indication that, the ties with China might be worsening perhaps?
That's right. It is not an indication. We have not given them a hint. It's a landslide. It's written on the wall. What India wants, China knows very well. And not only this, we people in India are also surprised by the new stand which the government of India is taking after 70 years. This is what is the most welcome sign. It means India of the ancient India is reviving. Pre-Mughal era India is coming up again. This is the sign of, return of the honor and return of, in Sanskrit, what they call Swabhiman, is coming back. And this is a very welcome sign. China realized it.
Okay.
Now China has no other choice to a case-saving choice, but to go ahead because they have committed themselves in the South China Sea. India is also there helping the coalition forces. So they know very well that Mr. Z, if he has to stand for elections and he has to prove himself, he has to walk the talk. So now China willy-nilly will have to walk the talk. They do not know how to get out of this game.
Right.
So that is why, they are resorting to these tactics of, street fighting and, under the garb that they are unarmed people, they are not harmful, they are only patrolling and, and get away with it. That will not be allowed, and that's what India has said. You cannot take, help of, saying that they are school boys or college boys who have just come for training and they make some mistakes and something like that. It will work now.
So, Wing Commander, I'm sure you speak for the troops on ground as well. Would this come as not just a morale booster, but also confidence booster for the troops that they can now use fire against the Chinese troops if the situation demands so? Because we've seen the kind of primitive combat that has taken place, and now it's welcome that that won't be the case anymore.
If you don't believe me, go and ask any soldier or a JCO. He says, why have you made us wait for so long? That's what he'll tell you. There is a lot of difference between military thinking and political thinking in democratic countries.
Yeah.
That's the vast difference. And political decision takes very long to translate into military decision. This is another setback, drawback in every democratic country, which runs on these lines. But these are not any problem with countries which run on military lines. Incidentally, let me just correct you. All countries ran on military lines in the ancient India. Right? All Bhagwan Ram, Krishna, every country, every king in India ran on military lines. They ran on this simple one-man rule. That is easiest. You decide to kill the enemy, you kill the enemy. You don't go asking opinions and this and that and keep wasting time.
Yes.
This is a problem with democracies. So this is what. So the army will be very happy if they're given the clear-cut orders. Otherwise, I will draw your attention to one incident.
Okay.
In 1967 in Nathula, there was General Sagat Singh Rathore.
Okay.
That time also there was unofficial rules by the government that you will not carry weapons during patrolling, and they were resorting to this same pushing and nudging. He made a comment that, what are you walking with your girlfriend and company bag? What is this happening? This is where we are resort to proper weapon systems. And that's what he said. So when he was giving this order, one Chinese a political commissar fell down in the hustle bustle in Dhaka, all this pushing and all. So he took his Chinese soldiers into the bunker and fired at the Indian soldiers, killing 50 of ours. General Praful Singh Rathore opened the artillery fire, killed 450 to 500 of the Chinese.
Okay.
Then there was an order to General Sagat Singh Rathore to vacate Nathula. You know what he said? Tell them I have not heard the order. My hearing is not proper today. And he violated the order and stuck to it. See, this is the attitude what army appreciates and runs by. So that's what I've given you this example for that. And this example has gone into the annals of military history of India. General Sagat Singh Rathore incident of 1967 Nathula.
That's very interesting to note, and you know, we can be thankful that lessons have been learnt and now we are being strong in our response as well. But also on the other hand, Wing Commander, the situation on ground is also quite worrying, because information and officers themselves have confirmed it as well, that China has also mobilized about 50,000 troops along the border, along with that tanks, artillery, guns and a lot of equipment as well. So, you know, how worrying is that, and would you say that was an intelligence failure perhaps, or was the Indian side well aware of every movement that was taking place from the Chinese side?
Let's face it, when the Chinese started coming inside, they started moving on the border, mass numbers in April, before April, we were told they are doing exercise. Even it was confirmed by Russians. They are doing their own military exercise. We fell for it. And our movement and all was quite restricted because of COVID or something, I don't know. I mean, what the sum total was that we got fooled by that incident. Whatever it is, they came in all right. But we reacted with alacrity straight away. We realized it, put in all our troops, our aircraft, our artillery, whatever the thing was, in record time. And we are there, facing from eye to eye. And on 29th, 30th, that Galwan incident happened in May, but on 29th, 30th August, there was the heights south of Pangong, those 6 or 7 heights, Rizangla, Jula, Makwari, Hill, the Tabor Top, Helmet Top, and Gurung Hill, all these places, they were taken by Indians. And this, when you control the height, you control the battlefield, right up to Chushul and beyond, and the road which is leading to Daulat Beg Oldi. So this is what is resented by Chinese. And Chinese are now on the high ground. They are attempting to get the high ground at, close to Daulat Beg Oldi. So the Depsang area, Depsang plains. So India must also resort to similar tactics there before they do. This game goes to the person side which shows aggression and initiative.
Right.
The side which keeps mamby-pamby talks and this. Tell me one thing, if an enemy is occupied your house sitting on your chest, will you call for negotiations or will throw him and kill him out?
True.
You answer yourself. That is what the answer Indian soldier is wanting. And that's what he wants to hear. And that's what he will react to.
Okay, so it might be strong words, but this is what we need at the moment on the border. The troops know it very well, and the country should be proud and happy that this announcement has been made. The message has been given out to the troops as well. Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, many thanks for joining us with your expertise on the subject, your thoughts on it. And of course, when the Galwan clashes had taken place as well, the message had come out quite clearly as well. It was for the very first time in decades that the Chinese were defeated in combat. As primitive and savage as the clashes might have been as well, the Chinese side was defeated. And now as well, even though on one hand the diplomatic talks are going on, efforts are on to de-escalate the tensions that are building up in the border. On the other hand, in border, on the ground, the situation could be quite different from what it is diplomatically. And it is for the troops to deal with the situation there as well, even as talks continue, which is why this is a very welcome sign that has come in. The troops have been told very clearly that fire can be used against any kind of attempt that might be made from the PLA. And this is a message that might have gone out loud and clear to the Chinese side as well. So this is a welcome move. Of course, on the other hand, parallelly discussions will also be going on diplomatically to ensure that the tensions are de-escalated. Thank you so much for watching me on this video on the live. Do let me know in the comments as well what you think of the situation, on the efforts that are being put by India, as well as the misadventures by the Chinese side as well. Thank you so much for watching. Do let me know in the comments, of course. I'll be looking forward to that. Take care.